Please be seated. Freemen of the Borough, distinguished guests and civic guests, Mr. Mayor, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Freedom Ceremony. The purpose of this council meeting is to confer the honorary freedom of the borough upon Mr. Mackenzie Thorpe. Are there any apologies for absence?
Our Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Brunton Dobson, Councillor Carr, Hussain, Story, Councillor Rooney and Councillor D. Rooney.
Thank you. Can we note those? Agenda item 2, are there any declarations of interest? Agenda item 3, announcements, communications. There are none for this meeting. Agenda item 4, resolution, freedom of the borough. I'll now hand over to the Chief Executive to read out the motion. Mr. Parkinson.
Thank you, Chair. That Mr. Mackenzie Thorpe, being a person who has rendered eminent service to the Borough of Middlesbrough within the meaning and in pursuance of the provisions of Section 249, bracket 5 of the Local Government Act 1972, as amended by the Local Democracy, Economic Development and Construction Act 2009, be admitted as a recipient of the honorary freedom of the Borough of Middlesbrough in recognition and appreciation of that eminent service, the detailed particulars whereof are recorded on the scroll presented to him this day. That the certificate of admission to the honorary freedom of the borough be presented to the said Mr. Mackenzie Thorpe.
Thank you. I'll now invite the Mayor to propose the resolution for the admission of Mr. Mackenzie Thorpe and to speak to the resolution. Mayor Budd.
Thank you, Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here today, and welcome to you all. Some of you have travelled a long distance to be here. Welcome to Mackenzie and Susan and your friends and family, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm delighted to propose the admission of Mackenzie Thorpe to the honorary freedom of the borough. This is a very rare event. Few people have received this honour. It's not done lightly. Mackenzie's work already is a feature of Middlesbrough. It's in our hospital, in our square as we look out of the window here. It's at our football club, around our station, and just this week at the Transporter Bridge as well. The unveiling on Tuesday at the Transporter and the words that Mackenzie articulated made clear the emotional link between Middlesbrough and Mackenzie and his work and his life. I think everybody was taken with what you said there, Mackenzie, and it'll stay with us a long time. And we are as proud of you as you are of Middlesbrough. The crowd at the unveiling and their warmth and admiration will, I hope, stay with you as you start your 30-year anniversary tour around the world. Many people who were there will already have prints of your work, and I know quite a number of people here have. You also gave us a piece of your work which we will treasure and display in our new building, your iconic painting, Waiting for Me Dad. So thank you very much for that. That means a lot to the place. You bring people together, I found on Tuesday, which is quite an art in itself. My wife reminded me this morning that the only piece of art that we have ever agreed on to put on our wall was one of yours. We disagree about most things, but with me dad, for obvious reasons, from anybody who knows that piece of art, it strikes a chord with Kath and I. Your story and the way in which you explain it gives hope to many young people in our town. And the ways in which you link the past and the present and the future tells our Middlesbrough story so well. We are, as you know, the town and the people that built the world, and we are rapidly reinventing ourselves with a growing confidence and ambition. And I think what you said on Tuesday chimes with that so beautifully. So thank you all. Thank you very much for what you've done and what you will do as you go around the world telling the story. and I'm delighted to move this resolution.
Thank you. I now invite Councillor Chris Hobson to second the resolution for Mr Mackenzie Thorpe and to speak to the resolution. Councillor Hobson.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very proud to second this resolution. Very happy that we're giving the freedom of the borough to Mackenzie today. The freedom of the borough is the highest honour that a council can bestow on a resident, and Mackenzie Thorpe is certainly a most worthy recipient of this honour. Mackenzie left school without any qualifications, and yet here we have a world-famous artist. What an inspiration he is to our children and young people, showing that with love, determination and passion, you can achieve so much. Mackenzie came from a humble background, but with a loving family around him. And of course, he now has his own loving family. So love has been a big part of his life. He has always loved and been passionate about his hometown of Middlesbrough. How lucky we are to have people of Middlesbrough to have such a talent on our doorstep, and how privileged is our town to have art in various places around our town by this wonderful artist. Mackenzie, who exhibits his artwork all over the world, is certainly a great advocate for Middlesbrough and deserves to be here today to receive the freedom of the borough. Thank you.
I'd now like to invite any other members of the council who wish to say a word or two. Okay. Sorry, Councillor.
Thank you. Mackenzie, you won't remember me. But I was born, I lived on St Paul's Road, 94 St Paul's Road. And for me, that's my little bit of fame. I lived on the same road as you. And I agree with the last speaker. It is an inspiration to the youngsters of Middlesbrough that you can do anything you want to. You proved it. So I'm really happy to be stood here to say thank you for your inspiration and most of all, thank you for those wonderful things.
Okay. Now I will invite, if there's anybody else present at the meeting who would like to speak, I will now give you the opportunity. Okay, I will now put the resolution to the meeting. All those in favour of the resolution, could you please show your hands? Okay, I don't think I need to go any further. That's clearly a unanimous. I think you may as well stand behind the chair, Mackenzie. You want to be over there? Have we gone this side? Not quite like the Opus, comes out infrequently. Okay, I will now invite the Chief Executive to read the Oath of Freedom. Mr. Parkinson.
Will you, Mackenzie Thorpe, swear to be true to our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, as a free and franchised person of this borough? Will you preserve the peace and tranquillity of the said borough? And will you disclose to the Chair, for the time being, details of any unlawful meetings or assemblies which come to your attention, will you do all in your power to contribute to the good?
I will.
Thank the... Right, I will now invite Mackenzie to sign the Roll of Honour and invite the signature to be witnessed by the Chief Executive and the Head of Legal Services. Sorry. Yeah, you are the freeman, so yeah, anywhere in there where you want to sign it. Right, we'll now invite, well, I'll invite myself to sign it, and Mr. Parkinson.
Mackenzie and guys, can you just stand behind the chair? Okay. Have the lady in the middle, please, if that's okay. Okay, and just, Mackenzie, can you just hold the pen? Tony, can you just come in? That's great. Okay, just looking straight into the camera, everyone. Lovely, and again right now. Excellent. Thank you very much. Lovely, thanks.
Okay, if any members of the family would like to come forward and take photographs, you're more than welcome now.
One each.
More formalities. On the behalf of the council, I'd now like to present the scroll to Mr. Mackenzie Thorpe.
Excellent. Tony, could you just come in?
Again, if any members of the family want to come and take photos, more than welcome.
Tony, can you come in? And if you can right here, okay, that's lovely. Okay, guys, that's great. Just look straight into the camera. That's it. Okay, smile there, Tony. Okay, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Well done. Just one this way.
I think that's all of it.
Fantastic. Well, it's right in my studio wall, look.
Just the flowers now.
Susan as well.
Oh yeah, do you want Susan to come down and take a photo now, or do you want to do a photo
Yeah,
later?
do it now, yeah. Take a photograph.
Just want the 2 years, do you want us in, or however you
Oh,
want
no,
us?
I'll be together, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
sure, okay.
Okay, that's good. No, it's just the lady behind. Sorry. That's lovely. Okay, guys, just straight into the camera. That's lovely. Nice and again like that. Big smile, everyone. Okay, a couple more. That's fine. Excellent, thank you.
Right, okay.
I've had your flowers already. Oh, right, okay. It was supposed to be formal, but hey, get a photo later or something. Yeah, yeah. Right, I'll pack up. Yeah, you sit down. Right. Hey, we're getting there, Sam. Just to move on ever so slightly now. Quite often when we're at things like this and I get the chance to say something, a lot of it's already been said, but I think a lot of the things that will be said today are very, are coming from the heart from most people and certainly do need to be said. As many of you will be aware, Mackenzie Thorpe is a local artist who was born in Middlesbrough in 1956. His family lived in a 2-up, 2-down terrace house just off Union Street before moving to the Beechwood estate. Mackenzie attended St. Joseph's School on Martin Road. Mackenzie has happy memories of his time playing in the streets of Newport. Even after moving to Beechwood, Mackenzie enjoyed spending weekends and holidays with his grandparents and Uncle Lawrence in St. Paul's Road in the Newport area. Mackenzie is dyslexic and was labelled thick and lazy at school. He left school without any formal qualifications. He found confidence in his painting and drawings, taking on a variety of unskilled jobs, including some time at Smith's Dock, whilst continuing to draw and paint. This was what inspired him to become an artist and tell the story of the people of Middlesbrough. Much of Mackenzie's work depicts his childhood growing up in Middlesbrough. His works are associated with a principle of art from the heart, combining tenderness with fervency through his abstract depictions of animals and children. His work is wide-ranging, from the accessible square sheep and duffel coat boys to the more challenging work focusing on isolation and man's struggle. In 1977, he went to the local Cleveland College of Art and Design, where he studied under Tom Wall. He left after 2 years to study for a fine arts degree at the Byamshaw College of Art in London. Mackenzie was the first person in his family to go to college to study for a degree, a fact reported at the time by the Evening Gazette. After graduation in 1982, Mackenzie remained in the capital to aid disadvantaged children. In 2005, Mackenzie and his wife Susan launched the Mackenzie Thorpe Foundation. In 2010, Mackenzie achieved his second honorary degree from Teesside University, accepting a Doctor of Arts degree. He was first awarded an honorary Master of Arts in 2000. In March 2015, Middlesbrough Council approached Mackenzie to display 2 of his paintings at the town's railway station. Mackenzie created 15 new paintings, and 11 of these were turned into posters and displayed on platforms 1 and 2. All 15 paintings were on display at the 13 headquarters at Brasserie Hudson Quay. On April 29, 2015, Mackenzie was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award by Middlesbrough Council at a ceremony in this council chamber. In May 2016, he unveiled his piece Eremus, which is located at the gable end of the Middlesbrough Central Library and remains to this day, which from where I sit, I have an absolutely perfect view of it. As I look through that window, it's as if that window is the frame for it. So at council meetings that are in daytime and I'm sat here, I see it on a regular basis. Earlier this week, we saw the unveiling of Mackenzie's latest Middlesbrough-inspired work, Waiting for Me Dad at the town's Transporter Bridge. Mackenzie Thorpe has never forgotten his roots, and he continues to put Middlesbrough on the map through his work. I believe that the accolade of Freedom of the Borough of Middlesbrough for Mackenzie Thorpe is undoubtedly well deserved. Thank you, Mackenzie. I now invite Mackenzie to say one or two words if he chooses. Okay.
I don't know. Hello? Is it working? Doesn't. Right. It works. Did it? Well, part of me is pretty relieved that this week's nearly over. What a week. Every day I have to find new words to try and express how I feel and what things mean to me. 3 o'clock this morning, well, I woke up at 2:30 trying to think what to say. And all I kept on thinking was family, 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 family. Some of you don't know me, but you've heard about me, and you nod at me in the streets sometimes when I see you walking by, and at events like this. All of you see me fall over, most people. Most of you pick me up. You see me do daft things, stupid things, good things and bad things. You know me better than I do. And there's so many layers of gratitude that I have for you all, and that you should pick me out of all the hundreds of people from Middlesbrough and give me this award. It's just like, it's beyond it. I feel like I'm a part of a family, and the family's called Middlesbrough, England, the northeast. And I'm really taking that with me, not to brag, but I'll be standing on a stage next week in Japan, and they're giving me a professorship. And they've picked me out to do that. And by God, they're going to know I come from Middlesbrough, all right, when I'm doing it. And if I say the next line, then you might understand how much it means to me. My grandson sat here, and I never thought that would ever happen. So all of what you've done and what we do is small compared to that fact, because he's going to carry this on and talk about this memory. He lives in London, but he knows where Middlesbrough is, and that makes me feel so good. So thank you, all of you. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody here. That concludes the formal proceedings for this afternoon. I'd like to invite the Freeman, the Mayor, the councillors and invited guests to join our newly elected Freeman for refreshments. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.